Hello crafters, this is Suzanne from A Creative Muse. Happy holidays! It's time for Gingerbread University. A lot of you in my last video where I was showing you guys about the fabulous Peachy Keen gingerbread die set and now the new Peachy Keen clothes and accessory stamp and die set. So many positive responses to how did I get the coloring of the gingerbread and where did this hat come from and all these little questions, and also how to use Sizzix adhesive sheet. So let's take a deeper dive. It's not going to be a short dive, but it's going to be a complete thorough dive. All right, let's get started. Alrighty crafters, so first up, this gingerbread die, and I will put a direct link for it on the page. Normally I put a link to the store and you guys can, shop around the store. But this one, I'm going to put a direct link for the gingerbread doll and face stamp set and also the clothes, which also comes with a different version of faces right here. Now you have 9 faces. So even if you don't want to, let's say the budget couldn't do everything gingerbread from Peachy Keen or all the face stamps, you could at least get these two and you would be covered for your gingerbread needs, which is nice. This little die set, and I'm going to just do a quick overview for those of you who may have just found me for the first time. 2.5 inches tall, both of them, and 1 3/4 inch wide. Yeah, 1 3/4 inch wide for both of them. So with this type of die, this is one solid plate, right? If you only wanted to cut the gingerbread, you could cut a sheet of paper here that would measure, let's say 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch square, and you'd get all these little bits. You can store them in a little baggie or just dispose of those, but I hate disposing of anything. I'd use them to layer or something, even though it's in this, beigey color or whatever color that you're, cutting your gingerbread out of. That's how you can use this type of die. It doesn't come individual, so there's no cutting up this die here. It's one solid piece. So if you want a little section, just cut a little piece, a little red piece here for the candy cane, etc. All right, now, before I go into using this die, let's talk about the paper choices I talked about in the last video. Aren't they just sweet and darling? And this is a up and coming Saturday morning makes. I guess it's going to be Christmas Day or the day after Christmas. It'll be up because I'm still working on tags. Yay, tags in this paper. That's that not too shabby paper. So these gingerbread was using that new color combo that I found with the basil paper. But in case you don't do a lot of online shopping, you don't have a Joann's nearby, see how close they are? They are actually quite close. This first set, this is actually Michael's 110-pound craft cardstock. That's what I used here. This is using that basil. Let me zoom it in here. Almond cream. And I usually buy this 12 by 12. I rarely buy basil in 8.5 by 11. Only sometimes, but most of the time I go 12 by 12. It's just my mini album making habit. But you can see that they're quite close. Although this has more ink blending than this one. This one is more just the edges because this is a darker cardstock compared to this one. The reason why I am showing you both options. Initial option, this is my favorite, but let's say you only have, Michael's in your neck of the woods, get it on sale, get it done. Okay, so let me pull these cuties. They're so cute. Oh, and Jill watched my video and she's like, oh, Suzanne, it's like those cute paper dolls. And I realized, oh my goodness, yes, you're right. I did not even realize the whole time I was putting all these bits together that I was like pretty much playing with paper dolls. That's what I was doing. This is all paper dolls. They come like this without anything on, and then you layer them up, and paper doll them. Yeah, I was too busy crafting to think. I believe I had told you guys that the paper was craft cardstock from Hobby Lobby. No, it's not. This is Hobby Lobby craft cardstock, which is a more cardboard, rough, darker look. This is Michael's. See, it says 110 pound. Let me flip it over so you can see. Paper Studios, that's Hobby Lobby, Craft 110 pound. And right there, you always get the extra heavyweight. Michael's is easier to see, just says 110 pound right there. Usually comes in a pack of 100 sheets. But you see the difference in the papers? Smooth, not darker, not as dark. That's what I used in the beginning. So this is another option for you. And on the edge, I did use tea dye ink. I did not go vintage photo. You can, you know, play with it and see which one works for you if you want to go this route. But I just wanted to show you that I had to pull out both packs of paper and then realize, oh, it's actually Michael's craft cardstock. And you can get this on sale when Michael's puts it on sale. What I also wanted to show you, because I have both. This is Michael's 110 pound cardstock. This is the one that I use for the gingerbread. Here is Michael's 65 pound craft cardstock. Notice there's a color difference between them, and I think you guys can see it here without me zooming down. This is a more brown. It is also smooth, still thick. This is much thicker. Just so you know that this 65 pound cardstock is not the same as their 110 pound, at least in this run. Now, moving on. So this is now my almond cream. In this instance, I'm going to cut it like so. Tim Holtz scissors, great for this type of rough cutting, especially the big one. Not the small one, but the big one. Yes, and you can buy Tim Holtz scissors on sale at Joann's and Hobby Lobby. Joann's.com too. That's the best place to get like these type of tools at a really good price. All right, so I only cut my papers in sections as I go. I try not to cut them up too much. It's expensive paper, 79 cents a sheet. Yeah. Buy that Joann's, that almond cream, when it goes on sale for 10 sheets for $2. That's when you can stack up on the almond cream. I'm going to go ahead and use my Spellbinders Platinum 6 as it's right in here with me. But where I really do craft, that is my Big Shot, my electronic Big Shot machine. Okay? Because I want to kind of back off the pressure here, I'm going to use a magic mat on the bottom. Here's a cutting plate. This is what you normally would cut with, but I'm going to go magic mat and a top plate. Put this face down. Can you guys see? Hopefully you guys can see. I need to crank though. So hopefully, oh no, I know why everybody puts their video, they go like this sideways. Duh. All right, let me go like this. Okay, so I'm turning the machine sideways. And when you're cutting something like this, try not to go in straight. It's a lot of pressure on the die and pressure on the machine. Give it a little tilt and it won't do all that crazy popping, cracking, and it will go through smoother. Save on the stress on your arm too by forcing it through. Another tip, learned that one from Stephanie Bernard, Stamps of Life. All right, so I'm gonna run it through. Oh, it's so weird to cut sideways, but I can see why. So, and look how the glass mat is handling it. This is my first time cutting on it. Yay, it's handling it. She's tempered glass. Okay, so it came out all together. That's why I use the magic mat. I didn't want a bunch of pieces popping out because my Spellbinders Platinum 6, it has a lot of pressure. And I didn't want it to overcut this die. I have 10 pieces falling. This is more than 10 pieces, but 10 pieces falling out. I'm going to show you why I did it this way too, okay? Because it depends on how you like to craft. So there is 2 ways of doing this. In this video, I'm showing you not only how to ink it up the way that I did, but also giving you tips along the way. And thank you for all the comments, because that helps me to know that you guys appreciate, you know, if the video goes over a little bit longer, but you know, along the way you're learning something new, or you're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. I cut it like this. Pop it out, like so. This is how I really work, but you can also do it this way, where you hold everything together. First, I start off with distressed tea dye ink, not oxide. Keep that in mind. No oxide. No oxide in the house. Oxide would give you a completely different look and a more powdery look. Second ink, distress vintage photo. So let me show you them up close. You can buy this, either the big 3x3 size, which is a full-size ink pad. They used to sell these in store. Now it looks like all they sell in store now, individual, is the distress oxides. full size, which is the 3x3 inch. These are the little cubes. These you can buy in a pack of 4. I'm not sure if these two come in the same pack. I will look and see. If I see it, I will put a link below. And you can either get it online or buy it in store. If you get it in store, get it like Hobby Lobby when it goes on sale, not Michael's, because Michael's is only going to give you 20%. Or Joann's, when Joann's has it at 40 plus an additional 20, that's the time to get this. I believe it's like $11.99 for a whole pack of 4. So you'll get also, I think this comes with black soot, maybe walnut stain, something like that. Walnut now. That one in the Tim Holtz Distress ink is a bit too dark for this. So I'm going to show you how I normally do this. Then I'm going to give you the sidebar, all right? These are the foams you can buy, also in store or online. This is the Tim Holtz foam. This is a scrapbook.com inking tool. I got a bunch of these for free with purchase, which is always nice. And they had it again the other day, and I got something. So I have another one coming. And then there's also the Tim Holtz version with the 2 in the pack. These little foams are nice because they go right here on the bottom when you're storing. So I always know that this one is tea dye ink, and then this one here. See how dirty it is there? That's the vintage photo ink on here. All right. Little tip for newbies. All right. So let me come here. Then I'm going to ink up. All right. I'm going to zoom down now so you can see more, because we're going to focus right here. And I'm going to show you the pluses and minuses of inking the way that I ink. Is there? Yes, there is. Always pluses and minuses. Ink it up good. You can do a little tap off. Oh, look at the glass. It's not even showing the tap off. Wow. And I come in like so. And I push it in. And see how it starts to color the almond cream? And just keep pushing. It's like coming in like so. Like you're pushing in little circles. Come here, push, 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 push. I think this is not new, so I think I may need a re-inker, because I'm like, but I do have it in the full size too. Yeah. This is actually my crop. Oh, and this sponge is falling apart. See all those little things flying? It's from the sponge. And I push. There we go. Now, this is what happens sometimes, and I'll show you in a second. Let's say I'm holding here. My finger, when I go darker, then you'll see it. Let me get my inkstand. I always forget my inkstand, which is so bad. All right, let me get my inkstand. This is a little holder for the ink, all right? So we got the tea dye here and the vintage photo here. Yes, and I could put these two here too, actually. That's my inkstand. Got this from Honeybee Stamps. Gingerbread is the star, all right? And we come in. See, now when I come in for the second time, and I go in from the edge, so then what I'm getting is, I'm trying to get that glow in the middle. Let's now go in with the vintage photo. This one now comes in on the edge. There we go, for that burnt edge. You see it? And I'm kind of coming in like this, coming in and circling. Coming in and circling. You know, the glass mat really, this is just making it so pleasurable. Oh, look. There. Okay, so see how I did the edges darker? Now, by holding here, my finger, your finger sometimes can start lifting off here. Like that, the pressure, right? How you can avoid it. And it shows itself a lot. It's not showing here. Of course, it's not showing here on camera. But that's how I like to do the gingerbread. You can go lighter. Here, this one is a little bit darker. Let's do another one. Why I did it this way too. This is just too small for you to hold in your hand and you're having problems maneuvering it. Keep the die cut like this. If you use that magic mat, especially if you got one for free, give it a try. Keep everything together. And then what you could do is have this as like a holder. Pop the die back in and then do it. So I'm going to show you here. Have the die in and I can come in like so. But the edges though, so I can come on in like so. I think this thing is really running out of ink. I don't think it's that juicy. Yeah. And you can pop them, you know, you can cut it and pop another one in here. Oh, so the difference is this one, 2 arms up, this one, 2 arms down. I just realized that. That's so sad. I've just been playing with it. I didn't care what the arms look like. They were just so cute. And you can do it that way. You can keep this and then cut more and then pop them in here to ink. But I am running out of ink. Alrighty. I said it. I'm going to order it. I think I need a re-inker. Now, normally, if this was Distress Oxide, I would have quit already because my hand would have started to kill me. But Distress ink goes on smoother. It's not as chalky. So now this is a lighter gingerbread. All right? So you go to where you feel good. Like this one is a nice brown baked one. Here, I could stop right here. Then I could come in to ink those edges like so and come in light like this. Now, if your ink is really juicy, my fingerprints can start coming on here. And this is where the sidebar comes into place. Most of us will use paper towels to hold down this edge so we don't get our fingerprints on here, right? This was a tip learned from Tim Holtz. Most paper towels are like this. He said, if you are inking a lot and your fingerprint is lifting the ink, smudging the ink, so most paper towels, even the Bounty paper towel, will have all these ridges. These ridges can impress in ink. And this was a tip from Tim. Get the Viva signature cloth. See how smooth it is? This will help you not transfer your fingerprints. And I can cut a piece because this is so small I don't need to use the whole sheet. And you can buy one roll of it. It's not the cheapest paper towel in the world, but keep it for your crafting. All right? I'm folding it up lightly here to show you. If your fingers transfer a lot, this is how you can do it too. And then you won't get the imprint because this is so smooth, so it's not going to leave an impression. See how it starts glowing in the middle? That's how I like my gingerbread. I like him kind of glowing in the middle. And then the edges are cooked like a cookie. That's how I did it there. And see how this one's just a little bit lighter? You can go vintage photo the entire time, but I kind of like that look right there. I'm stopping right there. So this one's just a hair lighter than that one. You can use Viva signature cloth so you don't get the fingerprints. Right there, I did a little finger smush. This is cleaner than that one. Maybe you can see it up at this height, but I can definitely see it myself with the naked eye. See how there I was pressing my finger into it? If you're holding this thing down with a death grip, yeah, it'll show. It'll start showing your fingerprints in it. And you can ink it. But to do the edges, you'd have to pop it out of here. You could ink it quickly in here, pop it out, and then do the edges. Come in with the edge, you know? All right, so now there is my little ginger in different colors, all right? Okay, so after I finish up with my distress inking, and I did like a whole series of them. This ink is a little bit wet, so I like to do, and I do them on all my gingerbread faces, I like to heat emboss as well. My favorite combination, I always talk about my combination, but let's look at the combination. Oh, let me clean this up. Let's use this little piece of paper towel that I can't use. Let me get my isopropyl alcohol, move everything out the way, spray. Remember, if you like this glass mat, you can use my code Suzanne20, and I'll put a link for Glass Studio True White Glass Craft Mat. That's what this is called. All right, look at that. Look at that. Now, if you guys have been inking a lot, especially newbies, and you're like, you know, I've been crafting at night, inking, and then I go to work and my hands look like that, especially if you do colors, blue and all that. Here is the tip. I mean, if you remember to wear gloves, sometimes we forget to wear the gloves because you're so busy getting caught, especially if you do a lot of mixed media, caught into the crafting, and then you have, you know, here I have brown on my fingernails. Get yourself, and I will put a link for it, the Ranger, I think this is called the squeegee. I'll put the proper name here on the screen. This is the old one. They have a new one that's green. This one I've had since I started crafting. So this is now going, next year will make 12 years. This thing is 12 years old. You don't need to buy more than one of this. I have two because I had one for at home and one to take into my craft bag. If we were doing some sort of mixed media in this, you know, at a crop, I have it to wash my hands. Because sometimes, even with glue, you wet this, you go to the bathroom, put soap on your hand, wet this. It's like a pumice stone. I guess you could use a pumice stone, but this one is, you know, it's not crazy expensive and it is made for crafters. And then you just rinse it out, just run water underneath it. It doesn't swell or anything. Leave it by the sink and it will air dry. She stays in my bathroom right now on the edge. So if somebody came in and used it on their face, oh well, you know. But it is for crafting. All right. So now when I'm ready to heat emboss, this is my combo. I love Alta New Obsidian Pigment Ink, exceptionally crisp, because it's true. This thing is exceptionally crisp. Is she sold out? Yes. Hopefully she's back in stock. Put the face on with the Alta New ink and that's it. Or I like to heat emboss just to give it that pop, that bright face pop. I do heat emboss them and I do stamp a bunch and then, you know, heat emboss like 10 gingers at the same time, that type of thing in like 2 minutes. All right, so let me pop a face here. Look at this option, face options. Let's go. Well, see, these are more like snowman face, but let's go with this one for the gingerbread. And I like to use the EK Success anti-static powder because this ink can still be wet. So I'll go like this for a little bit. I don't like the pouch. I just prefer doing this. So this now is my Comfort 1.5 inch cube. It is Catherine Pooler. It just has a nice weight and a nice feel. So yes, there are acrylic blocks and then there are like Comfort acrylic blocks. You can tell which one I like. And I just like to put the face there. So I'm not using a stamp positioner here. And I just pop on. And then, oh gosh, I'm like, oh, let me stand up. Hold on, I gotta see. There. Look at that. Look, see, and you don't have to prep these stamps. This is my first time using this one. Oh, this is cute. All right. And then normally, then I would immediately put on the embossing powder, put it aside. Because once you put on the embossing powder, you can have 100 of them. These stamps, I don't know where Peachy Keen gets these stamps done, but they are like off the, just peel it off the pack and go without prepping. They stamp like rubber stamps, which is so crazy. I love that. All right, so I'm going to pull it back in here. I got to stand up again. Because normally I'm over it. There we go. You know I'm stamping at like 13 inches above here. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is so cute. Look at that. Too cute. And you can stop right here or embossing powder and heat it. I am back with my Dollar Tree embossing solution. It's a Dollar Tree bowl. And then I put my coffee filters in here and I put them in color. Clear, white embossing, 2 clears, because I always use clear the most, white and then gold. All right, so let me put my little faces in here because I already did put the anti-static powder on them. Open up my love. This combination with this Ink on 3 Crystal Clear embossing powder along with the Alta New. These two, great married couple. Invite them to all your parties. There I go, and I just dump it on there. See, it kind of stuck on the edge, but not much. Now this, when you do it like this, that's when you can put it down. See how it has the embossing powder on it? You can put these aside for a long time once it has the embossing powder, you know? So you can do a bunch, just flick it a little bit. Not flick it like crazy, but just light flicking. There we go. All right, so I'll pour this back into the bottle later, because this video, of course, still going. All right, this is my heat tool. This is my Milwaukee heat tool. I don't believe they make these anymore. This is a fantastic heat tool. She gets very hot very quickly. And one of the best things I bought. Now, when I search that tool, the Wagner one pops up, and I will put a link for it because that's the modern version. It does have a more curved handle. So you hold it like this with the curve down and you'd go like this, but this is the one I've had. Another one, 10 years. She works fabulous. Worth every penny. Not the cheapest tool to buy, but when you buy one, you're done. And I do have other heat guns. I have the Martha Stewart and all that, but I should have just bought this one in the first place. That's the lesson I learned. So what you want to do is let your heat tool, and this can also take heat. Hello. Love it. All right. So I'm going to heat it up for a couple seconds first and then go into the process. All right. I'm going to pop some music on now. Bye.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Look at that. See how they look when they have the heat emboss? How nice. And then this takes to the white gel pen so well. Look at that. So there you have our little gingers. Now we can continue because I guess some of you want to see this part too. So let me show you. You take your white gel pen and in the eye here, come on, this white gel pen right there. I'm going to do one side and leave the other side plain so you can see when you add the white gel pen how it makes a difference. And then I looked at some of Jill's examples up close, and she'll put the gel pen right alongside the line, the emboss line. Hold on. There we go. And I also like to do here on the edge of the mouth. Oh, this is so hard to do at this height. Oh, I should have put on my readers. I can't see a thing. There we go. So you see how if you don't put anything, and then when you put a little bit of white on it. If you're an artist, then you can start adding even more lines into it. Here, I would fill in this part. Like so. White gel pen. This is a number 5. Get yourself a number 10. That's the broad one. There we go. See the difference? And let me put the edge here. This is like one of those videos where you do the makeup half the face. You ever watch those? This is exactly like that. But you see, once you put on the white, and then you can get into the dressing of your gingers. These little gingers are so cute. Alrighty, moving on. Someone had asked me how to use the adhesive sheet. So I'm going to show you that in this video. I hope you're watching on these. These are my other versions that I still have to play with. So I can do I cut one set from this plate. And this is a more straight plate. So this one you would definitely load in your machine at an angle, not straight on. You're always going to get a kick and pressure on this and pressure on the machine. Just put it in at an angle. This has adhesive sheet here and adhesive sheet here. I'm going to do the whole thing. You could cut little pieces. Like if I wanted just a bowl, I would cut a little piece of this cardstock and then put some adhesive sheet behind it. I like the adhesive sheet here. Why? Because this layers up. This is pieces that layer on top of my ginger base. That's why I'm using the adhesive sheet, so I don't have to be messing with glue, especially if you're going to do this thing in foil cardstock. Wet glue will start showing lumps and bumps with foil cardstock, and I did it the other day on a card and I showed you guys that. Oh, see, I knew I shouldn't have done it. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have done it. Wet glue under foil cardstock, it shows itself. Adhesive sheet, smooth. Even under vellum, the adhesive sheet, full coverage and doesn't show itself at all. This is another sheet of basil cardstock. I believe this one is called Pink Icing. Don't have the name here though. Yeah, it's on the other end of this. But I love this. Another one. Got this one from Joann's. I like to go to the... Joann's doesn't carry every single basil color, but they carry a lot, and they're carrying a lot of good ones, like the popular ones. Best white, Avalanche. Best black, Blackbird or Raven. Great pink, this one, Pink Icing. What's the other pink I like from them? Gotta think. Because I have a couple of pinks that I really like, but I'm loving this one. So now I have it here as a whole set. So you see how I put it on the back as a sticker? And then, now sometimes I will cut face up on this, depending on what I want to use this for. If I wanted to have full coverage behind here, then I would have cut up, I would put the die down with the adhesive facing up because I would want the sticky on the back. But most of the time, you want this to stick onto here, like the clothes. So I'm gonna put it down like so and get back my, where is she? Oh. Yes, my Spellbinders is a she. She's not a he. She's too pretty. She's too pretty to be a he. Again, I'm gonna go Magic Matte. Let's see how she does with the adhesive sheet and the Magic Matte. Adhesive sheet does add another layer to your die cutting, okay? Just know that. Meaning that you may have to run it more than once to get it to cut. So I'm going to go back with it. And I will put a link for the Magic Matte. Scrapbook.com is still having their exclusives on sale. Oh, they're having 5% off now too. Extra 5% off with the code JINGLE. Yep. I used it yesterday. All right, crafters. See, this is a nice thing about adhesive sheets. See how it keeps everything coming out as just like this? And then when you need something, you pop it out. And this is where now you can do all your paper piecing for paper doll making. Here, I could keep the gingerbread here in place for easier stamping. Let me show you the gingerbread too while I'm at it. That's where the gingerbread goes here. I'm going to stamp it in black, and I'm going to also clean my face stamps here with the Altenew unscented ink cleaner. Yeah, I love that stuff. I don't like my stamps being dark because I need to see the detail clean. When it's dark and I can't see it, it just drives me crazy, and then I'll never use it. All right, so again, with my Comfort Grip acrylic block, I don't know, these are actually quite nice because it has a weight to it. I need to clean that up because knowing me, it'll transfer all of it. This is the Viva cloth cleaning that. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna just pull it down here so I can see for my sanity. Okay, it's a little off because I'm doing it here, pulling it back this way. But you see how you would stamp it? And then I could do the same heat embossing here. But when I had inked this, because it was so small, I needed to dry it completely before I was doing the heat emboss. It became just this big puff cloud. It was very weird. But then now with the clothes, this is where you'll have the option. And I did put my little paper packaging on 110-pound cardstock so I can keep this forever, pretty much. And that's where I would have the gingerbread, and then I could look at the clothes options. Did I want to do a dress? And when I'm ready to do the dress, I just peel off the adhesive backing and then stick the dress on. So here I go. I'm going to stick the dress on. So she's having, ooh, my finger is messy. Hold on. Let me. Isopropyl alcohol. Great for cleaning everything. Yeah, you peel off the backing, because I just noticed that little mark from my finger was coming on the dress. And then here's the dress. And then keep on layering up. Did I put this on straight? Okay, so see how I didn't put that on straight right there? The adhesive does not stick immediately. So it gives you time to reposition if you put something on wrong before it cures. Takes a little while to cure, okay? So keep that in mind. So here's the dress. Oh, goodness. There. Where am I? Okay. Because I'm coming in at this weird angle I can't see. There. There she goes in her little dress. And then I can put on, I can come back over here for another piece. With the collar maybe. I could do the collar. You see how cute that is? Or I could do the apron. Yeah, this is the apron. You see how now with the adhesive sheet, I would just peel it again like a sticker. Now I turned it from die cut and have to mess with wet glue into playing with stickers. And if it is off, gently, because when you have it layered up like this, just gently peel it off. It can come off before it sticks completely. It takes a little while to cure. But there she is in her little apron. Oh, that's so cute. Ooh, love this thing so much. Alrighty, crafters, I have made a huge mess here, but I hope that along the way you've learned a few little tips and tricks and even how to clean your fingers when you have a ton of ink on your fingers. And I will link everything below, and like I said, I'm going to put direct links to the gingerbread die and stamp set and the clothes die and stamp set. So you can go straight there and get these before they're gone. Oh, also, for the person who had asked me about this chef's hat, because this chef's hat, and you noticed it, didn't you? Because it is different than this one. This one that comes in the die set. See how that one looks? That's not that. Let me show you where I got it from. But I don't believe... This one you may have to get somewhere. I'll look and see if any is in stock. Like how I did find some of the Neat and Tangled tag die set. I found 3 from a seller who was selling them at retail. You know, $19.99. It wasn't like $35. This is... The hat comes from this set. Cottage Cuts Gingerbread Baker, and Cottage Cuts is the one who also made this. So that's where the hat is there, and it fits perfectly on this gingerbread for some reason, and I can mix the spoon and layer up from here to here. So that's where that hat came from, which I had put on this little cute little tag that I'm working on, which will soon be revealed because I have a whole group of them going, which I can now add these cuties to. So that's where it came from. For the crafter who had asked me, Gingerbread Baker chef hat. And an adorable bowl too. Everything in here is cute. This is on... Yeah, this is here. The bowl is here. This hat is this one. So you see how the 2 sets. This one gives you one style of hat, chef hat. This one gives you that style. So I'm actually mixing... Oh, that's interesting that I'm mixing up so much stuff together. But I didn't want to do this paper piecing where it's, you know, piece together the legs and then the hands. I like the whole body and then add on the pieces. So that's where this one came from, okay? Alrighty, crafters. After, wow, look at all this mess. If you don't see another video, have a safe and wonderful Christmas holiday. I'll be busy doing my little crafty thing. You know, I'm still crafting along. I enjoy the crafting during this time. Just like Christmas music, Christmas movies, and crafting. Alrighty, crafters. Until the next video. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Stay crafty, my friends. Bye.